Have you felt confused or stressed when it comes to building out your digital business? I've heard a lot of people mention when it comes to the concept of Kajabi funnels that the sales and marketing strategies and tools and technology can often feel overwhelming. So I decided to create this video where I will reveal exactly what you need to know to identify the profit leaks in your sales and marketing funnels, how to build out a successful funnel, and even how to leverage an automated tool feature within Kajabi to make the process of building out a Kajabi funnel a matter of a few clicks. See, the first key part of building out a successful Kajabi funnel starts with the planning phase. All too often, I see people hop into the Kajabi Hero group and mention that they built out their pages, they built out products, and they aren't seeing results. And when you ask them, well, what was your plan that you were following? They didn't have one. And this is common both online and offline when I've talked to local businesses. People jump into building out their websites, building out their courses and their marketing, but they don't have a plan. So what you'll want to do is first plan out your sales and marketing funnel. Now, there's a variety of ways to go about doing this. Some people like to use a pen and paper. Some people will use their computers. I actually have a tool that I prefer to use that has a very unique feature that gives me a really competitive advantage when it comes to my funnels that I'll show you in a little bit later in this video. But in the meantime, the tool that I'm referring to is called Funnelytics. In fact, below this video, I will put a link to get access to Funnelytics, the free version, so that you don't have to worry about the paid trial limits if you don't want to. So here I am inside of my Funnelytics dashboard, and I've created a demo workspace to show you exactly how I would go about planning out a funnel. So the first thing I would do is I could either come up here to add a step or just right click on the dashboard itself. And the first thing I would want to do is start with where I want to send people to. So let's say I was going to do a quick lead magnet where I'm giving away a free PDF. I might have an opt-in page. From that opt-in page, where would I want people to go? Well, first off, I would want them to submit their contact information and become a lead. From that submission, I would then probably want them to go to a download page, perhaps, where they could then download the PDF that I created. Maybe I don't have a download page. Maybe I just have them go to a thank you page. And from that thank you page, I will tell them to check their email. So from here, I might say when someone signs in, or I could do it from here as well. When someone becomes a lead, I want them to receive an email. And then that email would possibly have the PDF. Just make that bigger. That's too big. Make that PDF have the instructions that they want inside of it. And then, of course, I could make a series of emails that I could have them receive. And then that final email could potentially, check that, could send them to, let's say, a webinar registration page, right? So that could be a very simple funnel. And as you saw, I just built it out here. Now, obviously, there's also the fact that you might want to have a source of traffic that you're sending in. So for example, maybe I'm using social media, I'm using Facebook to drive people to this free PDF. They opt in, I get their contact information, they receive a series of 3 emails, they go to a thank you page that tells them to check their email, and voila, there you go. Now, one of the most popular funnels and a really simple funnel to build out was actually a concept that was developed by Brendan Burchard, who has done like $15 million launches. He's a best-selling author, et cetera, et cetera. And he calls it his OVO sales and marketing funnel. So here you can see on the screen, I've already kind of designed out how his concept works. But essentially, you have your opt-in. So you get your opt-in. And then from that opt-in, you would send them a series of emails. And in those emails, you're providing value relevant to what they opted in for. And in those emails, you're also sending them to an offer page. In this case, it would be a sales video. And then from that sales video, if they click, they would go to a checkout page. And then if they purchase, they go to a thank you page. Very simple. Those who opt in go to a thank you page that tells them to check their email. And then you might have some sources of traffic that you're sending into the opt-in page. So right here, you can see how much easier it becomes to wrap your head around your sales and marketing when you plan out the customer journey. You have your source of traffic that you're going to send to, ideally, some sort of way to collect that interest, that contact information. And then from there, you'll send them to a sales page, a webinar, etc., where you'll make an offer. And then you can follow up with anybody who doesn't take you up on that offer thanks to your email marketing features. This tends to make things a lot simpler for those especially who like to see things visually to wrap their heads around it. Now, from here, the next step after planning is to actually build out this funnel in your business. Now, some people might try and do this in, say, a WordPress site, which has its pros and cons. The cons being there's been numerous security issues with plugins. You have to do constant updates, etc., etc. There's other platforms that you could utilize, but I prefer to use Kajabi. And the reason why is that all of these features are available within Kajabi. It's an all-in-one platform in case you didn't know. So within Kajabi, I have the ability to build out my landing page, to do my email marketing, my sales page, my checkout page, and the fulfillment of whatever I'm providing, whether it's the PDF downloads, membership courses, coaching, you name it. Here I am inside of the demo dashboard for my account in Kajabi. And inside the dashboard, there's actually something called funnels under the marketing tab. So I can go here, click get started. And from here, I can just select, well, what kind of funnel do I want to build out? Well, in this case, I could do a free book, etc. But I want to do a product launch. No, let's do a sales page. So I'll go here and I will call this the demo OVO, which is again, opt-in value offer. In this case, I have some demo offers already in this account. So I would do I could do a test coaching product. All right. So I create this funnel and just like that, I click and behind the scenes, Kajabi is automatically building out the elements of the funnel that I would need to utilize it. So as you can see, I'll just close this. I've got the checklist here for what I need to customize in the funnel. And I've got an opt-in page that's already ready to go. I can just click in. I can edit whatever I need to edit. I can change the background image, can change the button messaging. I can change the button color, you name it. But it also has all of the emails built out for this email sequence, which I could then go in and edit. So I could click into here and really quickly, day 0, so immediately after someone opts in, they would receive this email. And of course, you could change the subject line, but inside of this pre-built funnel, they give you the prompts for the sales and marketing messaging in your emails. So even if you don't have a lot of experience with sales and marketing, you aren't having to do this from scratch. You can follow the prompts and be like, okay, how can I adapt this email to maybe suit my personality? Or maybe you leave it as is. But you can add pictures if you want using the various editors of the email. And then from here, you could go back to the sequence and you can update the next email, right? And on and on and on, right? So on the 3rd day, spaced out every 2 days, you have an internal title so you can keep track of it. You have a subject line that you can update. And then it tells you, okay, the goal of this email is to learn more about your prospects' questions. So you can personalize it using these kind of drop-down elements from the form that you collected their contact information on. So it would say their first name or their last name or whatever whatever hobbies they might have put into that form, etc. And then you have this prompt where you can insert testimonials, you name it. Awesome stuff. And this also saves you quite a bit of money. You don't have to spend another 40, 50, 100, $200 on a separate email marketing platform because Kajabi has your email marketing for your follow-up sequence built into it. From there, you'd have your sales page, and then you can update and edit it just like you did with the opt-in page. You can add your own video, update the title, change the background. If you want to add more sections, that's simple too. You can go back here and you can add sections, whether you want more text, maybe you want a hero section with an image, a video, feature cards. So you can add whatever you want as features and bullets. Maybe you want a countdown timer. Maybe you want an image gallery. So you've got different images that you're showing, videos, pricing cards, right? With different options that you edit, etc., etc., etc. A lot of cool stuff in here. And then from that sales page, you would then be sending them to your offer, your checkout. So from here, you could see that you could then preview a checkout. Now, this is just a really basic checkout you could customize, but you have the ability to charge money if you wanted to, or you could make it a free product that you just give out. However you choose to do it, this whole process now has become one click simple for you. And of course, you have the ability to come back to the funnel itself and add pages along the way. If you want, you can just come down here and add a page into the middle of the funnel. And then you could simply have people go from that new page to the sales page, or from the sales page to the new page that you add, etc. Basically, Kajabi takes away a lot of the tech overwhelm and stress if you utilize their funnel building feature. So now you've got your plan to build out your funnel. And now within Kajabi, you can easily create the emails that you have decided you want to add. You can build out the pages, the products that you want to sell, etc. But that's just two of the three key elements to a successful funnel. And this is where most people stop. And then they wonder, well, why am I not getting leads? Why am I not getting sales? It's because that the actual first thing that you want to focus on when you build a brand new funnel isn't the leads. It isn't the sales. It's actually the generation of data. As you can see on the screen, there's a lot of moving parts in a funnel. So it's not a matter of just skipping right to the end and saying, well, I'm not getting a purchase, so clearly the whole funnel isn't working. Instead, what you'd want to look at is the step-by-step process and look at the data. How many people from Facebook are opting in? How many of those people who opt in are actually receiving that email? How many people are clicking from these emails to the sales page? How many people who see the sales page are going to the order page? How many people who see the order page are actually making a purchase? Because if you're getting a lot of people from social media who are landing on your opt-in page, well, then the social media or paid ads is doing their job. But clearly something about the opt-in page isn't working. And if you're getting a lot of people who are opting in, but they're not clicking on the emails, well, then clearly something with that email needs to be revised to motivate them, to stimulate them to want to click the link. Because if they're not clicking the link in the email, then they can't see the sales page. So the problem isn't the sales page if no one is seeing it. But if you're watching the data and it's showing that people are clicking the links in your emails, they're landing on the sales page, but they're not going to the order page, well, now you know what the problem is. The problem is something on your sales page. Or on the flip side, if you have quite a few people going from your sales page to your order page and not buying, then the issue is at the order page. So your goal when you start a new funnel isn't to immediately be generating leads and sales. Those are benefits. The real thing that you want to focus on is the collection of your data so that you can see what's working and what's not working, so you can make the changes that you need to make. So there's a couple options to do this. Some people will rely on Google Analytics. And in case you didn't know, you have the ability now within Kajabi, within the settings area, to go down and actually use the Google Analytics feature has now been updated to allow for GA4, Google Analytics 4. So you can use the original Universal Analytics code or the Google Analytics code 4. If that all sounds like technobabble to you, you're not alone. But for those who were interested in that, that is an option. Now, here's the thing. Google Analytics, it's well renowned, it's free, but it's not user friendly for the average person. It's actually kind of overwhelming and confusing for the average person. In fact, on the Funnelytics website, they actually have a section that talks about why Google Analytics has a lot of disadvantages to it compared to, say, their platform, which has some really cool tracking features built into it. So, for example, with Google Analytics, it's not very easy to see which emails are specifically leading to sales for your products and services. It's not easy to see which ad campaigns are directly impacting your purchases. And even if you were to look over at the other section where it says which pages or blog posts are contributing to the highest purchase value. Now you might be wondering, what are they talking about? Well, for example, if I come back here, if I click this analytics toggle at the very top, if this was a real funnel that I had built out, I could literally see step by step where people are converting. So I could see that of the 500 people that clicked on this Facebook post, 500 people landed here, but only 100 people submitted their information as a lead to land on the thank you page. And of those 100 people who were then added to my email list, only 10 people have clicked the link in email number 1. So that means 90 people didn't click that link. That's concerning. But now let's say that 90 out of 100 people clicked the link, which would be fantastic. Well, then this number down here would be updated to say that 90 people showed up from this page. But from here, only 5 people clicked on the order page. Okay, well, now we know where we need to focus. Why are more people not clicking on the sales or on the order page? But not just that. By combining this information with the automation features within Kajabi, I could then start following up with people who don't click on email number 1 with a whole different email sequence, etc., etc. It's all very cool. But here's another cool thing. I could bring this out, and now this isn't in the free version. This is in the paid subscription to Funnelytics, but I could break it down to see how well are people from Europe converting in my funnel. How well are people from Canada, the States, Mexico? How many people who arrive on a mobile device are submitting their lead information? How many people are clicking their links from mobile devices in the emails? How many people are making purchases on mobile compared to desktop? I could even say, I only want to see the data from people who specifically clicked this link. Or maybe I want to say, I only want to see how well people from Google Ads are converting. What would happen is it would actually isolate all of this data to only show me the customer journey of people who came in from Google Ads. This is an absolute game changer. And this is why some of the top sales and marketing companies are utilizing Funnelytics, right? Some of the best companies known for their products and services are using Funnelytics because it makes it so much easier to visualize the customer journey. And there's also the ability to show a real-time flow of people moving through. So you can actually see if there's any bottlenecks in your pipeline, in your sales and marketing funnel. Now, I know I'm going on and on, and I'm probably rambling at this point. But if you actually are interested in me doing a full demo on Funnelytics, comment below. But this is just to give you an idea. Whether you use Funnelytics in Kajabi or Google Analytics in Kajabi, it's really important that you break out your sales and marketing funnel into these 3 parts. Now, if you don't already have a Kajabi account to take advantage of that automated funnel build-out feature, I will put a link to an extended free trial below this video, and I'll also put a link to my super bonus bundle, which includes me actually walking through an entire funnel build-out plan with you. It comes with a bunch of other cool features, which you will see in the link below this video. But the main purpose, again, I just want to reiterate, is to break down this whole process into 3 simple steps. Plan out your funnel, draw it out, know exactly what pages, what emails, what sequence you want your customers to go through. The second part, build out exactly what you drew using a platform like Kajabi. So it's easy. You have your emails going out. Then, in the third step, the key step, the most critical step, is to track your data. Make sure that you know what is being visited on your site. If you're taking advantage of the blogging feature in Kajabi, you could be able to tell what blog posts are driving the most sales for your products and services. It's amazing. Just simplify the entire process. Now, if you are interested in making your email marketing much better, you're going to want to watch this video next if you are interested in optimizing your Kajabi email automations and marketing to get the best results. In the meantime, I'll talk to you soon.